Hey everybody, this is Jonathan Schrantz, and you guys really seem to have a lot of interest in these videos where I try to find lines in the Nakhmanson that even Stockfish misevaluates at the beginning. So we're going to see here today if we can find a totally different Nakhmanson line and see if even there we're able to trick Stockfish. So please subscribe to the channel if you guys want to see more of this, and let me know in the comments below if you do like these kinds of videos. I personally think they're interesting. They're not necessarily of theoretical importance, but they are just interesting just to try to find these positions that even top computers have a hard time understanding. And let's see if we can confuse Stockfish here. So we've been exploring D takes C3 in a lot of the previous videos, trying to find a lot of these lines that maybe the computer has a hard time understanding. But I always get comments. I get comments on this knight to d6 move. A lot of people have told me this is the best move for black. Black is just easily better here. Some people have even said black is winning here. I think that is pushing it a bit far. If you are a human, consider queen to e2. We're not going to get into all those lines today. But in a lot of the lines after queen to e2, white will be down a pawn, but it's usually an opposite colored bishop endgame, where white also has a lot more activity, especially on the e-file. I'm not going to get too much into it. If we're playing Stockfish, we don't want to be, trying to play an opposite colored bishop endgame with a little initiative and seeing if it's actually enough for the pawn. We don't want to discuss that with Stockfish. We want to live life a little bit. We want to play bishop to g5. I think this is a very, very tricky idea. I don't 100% trust it for white. I'm sure there's a lot of good ways for black to play. But let's just see what happens if we do try to play this out with Stockfish here. Now, after they defend with their bishop, we will trade, take back, and I think a normal human move here would be to play queen takes d4. Queen takes d4 is a very interesting move, and it's very tricky. If you put yourself in black's shoes after queen takes d4, you have to answer a very serious question. We are going to be attacking the g7 pawn, but if you just simply castle, we will be able to keep our very strong light-squared bishop, which is often very useful in the attack. The bishop will get to live. But the other question is, if we take on d4, and then the knight takes on c4, what are you going to do if we just take on g7? There's a lot of things that black actually would need to consider. But I don't let Stockfish always dictate what I do. I want to find another way to attack. I know I have two pieces hanging here. I'm not worried about it. Knight to g5, coming at ya. Stockfish here, unimpressed, plays d takes c3. But I'm just going to test this line out and see if we actually somehow can get an attack going. I don't know. Stockfish not super happy with my play here so far. I'll toss this check in. Why not? King to f8. And Stockfish is telling me, maybe your bishop is hanging still, dude. Bishop to b3, bishop d3, maybe even b3. But I'm in it for the attack. I live for the attack. Pawn to f4. Stockfish just cruelly takes my bishop. How dare you? f5, f6. Don't I have some sort of attack here? Oh, Stockfish is having a hard time understanding. Pawn to f6. What you gonna do? G takes f6 seems to be the choice. Queen to h6. What is gonna happen here? We're in it now. We're in the thick of it. Has it actually come up with a good way to defend? We'll take this pawn, sure, why not? Oh, but queen to e7 might just be holding on. What if I grab this guy, though? Are you really that happy? Oh, no! Oh, no! Did it happen again? We saw there just for a moment. It now thinks, okay, it still thinks maybe it's on top, maybe it's unsure, but maybe at a minimum here, we've actually tricked it into, into a perpetual all of a sudden. So, yeah. All right, maybe this is not so great. Maybe king e7 is the way. Who knows? But, something like this actually can be quite crazy. And maybe it's even crazier than... Whoa. Maybe it's even crazier than I thought. Uh-oh. Did the mighty Stockfish actually just slip? Wouldn't you know it? Suddenly, Stockfish is claiming that maybe it's white that's been winning all along. Whoopsie.